Hi y'all, so we're back in here in another episode of the Indigo Podcast, and today I'm going to give you another race recap because yesterday, if you didn't see on my Instagram, I'll put a video of it right here. I ran another 5K, so I'm going to go over like how I do every time. 5 categories, y'all know the categories by this point. So first, we're going to start with the stats. So first thing is the distance. This is just based off my watch. The actual distance, obviously 3.1 miles or 5 kilometers, but my watch logged 3.11 miles. This is the closest ever been. So yay to Garmin, yay to my GPS. It clocked right. So cool. So it's 3.11. It's a 5:55 minute per mile average pace with that official pace according to the I don't know how you say the leaderboard. I don't even know if that is the right terminology for that, but the official pace was 5:56, so it's pretty much the exact same as what my watch said. But the official time was 18:24.6, so new PR. My last time was 18:53.3, so almost a 30-second PR. So that's pretty cool if you ask me. So in terms of placement, 38th out of 97, so that's pretty cool. Average heart rate was 177, max was 185, so I think it was higher than last meet on average and max. I mean, it was a little bit more humid than last meet, I believe so. So that probably explains why, because I know it was at least 80 degrees when we took off, and it was I could feel it was humid when I was warming up, so that probably explains why. And maybe obviously I ran faster, so my heartbeat was beating faster because it was a harder effort. So anyway, fastest pace was a 4:03 minute per mile pace. I just throw that in there because I think that's cool. Obviously, when I first drove out. And then I'm going to go over the splits here. So first mile is 5:44.7. Second mile is 5:54.8. And the last mile is 6:12.2. And the last 0.1 of a mile was a 4:54 minute per mile pace. These numbers are hard. So the goal, well, I'll kind of get more into the goal. Well, actually, I didn't really talk about that in terms of the sections, but I'll just talk about it right now. The whole gist of this race was to go out a little bit more conservative and then just negative split the rest of the race. And I would say I executed that pretty well, the first half at least, because the first 2 miles, that's the strongest I've ever been in the first 2 miles of any type of cross country race. So I executed that well. The last mile was 6:12. I would have wanted that to be a little bit faster. Maybe if I pulled back and ran 5:50 to 6 minute pace, which was the initial plan. I just went out 5:44, so I was like, all right, we're going to hold on to this. So I think if maybe I ran the first one a little bit slower, it would have been more, I guess, evenly distributed along the splits. But I mean, it's a PR. I mean, however you get there, I guess it's cool, but that was the splits. But next thing I'm going to go over is just the course. Now, I think I said what was the last one was Seven Lakes, I believe, and I believe I said that was the flattest course. Nah, this was the flattest course. Spring Branch was the flattest course. It was the thing about this course. It was the most straightforward in my opinion. You literally just did 3 loops and cut into the finish line. It was pretty much a 200. My coach did say it's 100 meters. I ain't gonna lie. When I ran that was not 100 meters because it shouldn't have took that long. I don't know if it was just because I was fatigued. It might have been a mix of both. It was at least 150 meters. So anyway, other than that, the long straight, I mean, in any race, the straight probably seems elongated because you're finishing a 5K. But the course is very straightforward. Like I said, 3 loops, very flat, no type of hill, no type of elevation at all. So that explains why it was a fast course, because my coach, before we even started, she's like, this is a fast course. And I'm like, all right, we're going to see. So I started running. I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a fast course. I could just tell off a feel. So I would say this is my favorite course so far, just off of the simplicity of it and just the fast nature of it. I mean, that can pull you to a PR, obviously. I mean, it did for me, obviously, along with a multitude of factors. But a fast course can help you run faster for sure. I mean, that's why it's called a fast course. So, but yeah, the course very straightforward, simple. I would say this is my favorite one so far. But next thing I'm gonna go over pre-race. What did I do pre-race? I didn't really change anything pre-race. I pretty much had the same exact fuel I did last meet. So if you don't remember or didn't watch that, I had 2 slices of sourdough, 1 banana, and I had about a tablespoon and a half of peanut butter. That's 24 grams if you're wondering. And I had 500 milligrams of sodium worth of electrolytes, BPN, using the same one. and I did a scoop of creatine. It may have benefits to running, but I just take it because I lift and that's the most convenient for me. So I took it pre-race, and I'll mention this. I did some pre-race rolling out. So I have a foam roller and I have like a band. I believe I rolled my feet out too on a massage ball, but the main reason for that, obviously, to be loose before the race. Warming up will facilitate some of that, but I just didn't really want to be stiff on the bus because, if you're sitting for at least 30 minutes, you'll probably tighten up a little bit. So I just didn't want my back or hand, just nothing. I didn't want anything to be tight. So I just made sure, I roll out every morning before any of my runs, but I just made sure I did before this meet because I'm not really sure if I did before this meet. I probably did. I may have not, but just making sure I'm not stiff and everything's loose. So we got to the school around 5:30, took off around 5:50. The park was really close, so I wasn't sitting for that long, but the ride was like 30 minutes top. So nothing really changed pre-race. Kept it very consistent. Because I realized the sourdough and the banana and the peanut butter just sits well. Unlike the overnight oats. Overnight oats sit well before. Never again. Not before a race. I don't think it's the smartest thing. But next thing I'm gonna talk about, what was the goal going into the race. Now I did state in the last video my goal was like 840 to 850, but the night before, because with Garmin you can create an event, so I created the event for the 5K. So like when I finished, like Garmin logged it or whatever, it looks cool. So I was like 540 to 550 at first, and then when I was sitting down, because just based off of my splits on my workouts, like I did 12 by 400, I'll put the splits right here, and it was just I pretty much negative splitted the whole thing, and it was very consistent. The effort felt like not effortless, but it felt very fair. I felt very fit, if that makes sense. So just based off of that, and my easy runs got a little bit faster too, so that's cool. So just based off of that, I'm like, okay, I think I could run a little bit faster than what I said. So having the 1853 as a baseline really helps, because it helps you like be realistic, but know like I can push myself. So I changed it to 1830. So I'm like, I think I can definitely hit this or faster, because I wrote down that night, I'm like 1830 or faster. So I was like, that's the standard now, so let's go. So I ran 1824, so ran faster than what I said, and it's a new PR on top of that, so that's really cool. But just based off my efforts, I just lowered it a little bit. So that was the goal prior to the race, 1830, and we ended up running 1824. So executed the goal. We definitely did. So that's pretty cool. But last thing I'm gonna go over really quick. Well, second to last thing. Whoa, now I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. Second to last thing. What did I learn from this race? And after the race, I'm not gonna lie, just after the race, I was trying to just recuperate myself, because once I crossed, because I don't know if I mentioned that Friendswood, I literally collapsed on the ground. Like, not like, I don't know, like I was unconscious, like I collapsed, like I was out of exhaustion. I was just exhausted. May have been because of fatigue from sleep deprivation, but anyway, that's a whole different thing. But like I crossed the finish line, and like I was just like very it was kind of similar to Friendswood, a little bit worse to be honest. But I crossed the finish line, was like, fell to the ground for a little bit. They was trying to help me up. I was like, hey, whoa, now, like, give me a second. And then they're like, hey, we got to get you up out of here because people coming through. We don't want you to get ran over. I'm like, all right, that makes sense. So I got up, was like kind of limp, drunk walking. That's a new terminology. I was just like out of it for a second. So I was just walking really slow, felt pretty dizzy. And I sat in this random lady's chair. Lady, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I had to use your chair. I was a little bit out of it. I was thrown off, so I had to sit in your chair. But anyway, sat in the lady's chair. Shout out to the lady. And then I waited for a second, and then just was walking around. Was walking very slow, probably like a 50-minute per mile pace. I was walking so slow. And then finally got over to where my dad was, chopped it up with him, told him like I felt like death, because I did. It's a 5K. It is what it is, but pretty dizzy. But after like 10 minutes, I was pretty much normal. I felt fine. But anyway, other than me talking about how dizzy I was and thrown off I was after the race, what did I learn from the race? So I just learned, I was reinforced that discomfort is needed for growth and to win. Because coughing and stuff. Discomfort is needed to learn well, yeah, you learn from it, but you grow and you win. Because if it were easy, everyone would do it, and obviously 5Ks are not easy if you really want to do it at a good level for you personally and progress within it. So it just reinforced that, because like I've stated, after, like, I would say for me at that race, after mile 2, that's when the fatigue really set into your legs. So I don't even think it's a cardiovascular issue at all, like, or like you being like can't, like, you're not being able to breathe. It's just your legs are heavy because of how fast you're running. And I mean, a 5K is long enough, but it's fast enough, so that, like, just put together, it makes your legs feel like bricks. So you're just trying to fight at that point. But I just learned you really have to lean into discomfort to get to where you want to be in life, and it just reinforced that. But also, I just want to, like, it's not necessarily something, well, I would say it's reinforced, and just it just made you more aware and more present. It's just all the support. Like, I'm not saying I'm an A-list celebrity, but I have people support me. I just really appreciate it, because the coaches, shout out to Coach Parmley. He coaches at Stratford, and him and his wife are cheering for me. So anytime they see me at any type of race, they always cheer for me. So I really appreciate that. Obviously, Coach Dunn and Coach Jordan, they were cheering for me, and saying, okay, settle in, like giving me cues on what to do, and just staying focused on the race plan. All my teammates, I heard them like cheering for me too. I really appreciate all y'all, just the whole team. It just really reinforced that cross country is where I'm supposed to be right now. And I'm not gonna lie, I've already been liked it more than track. Track is still, hold on, don't get it misconstrued. Track is still the OG. Don't get it misconstrued. But I just feel like with cross country, that's more of my lane, and I just feel more welcome there, if that makes sense. In terms of the sport, not the people, because the people are great in both realms of running, but it's just the sport. I just feel more like, okay, this is what I should be doing right now. But anyway, I'm just grateful for everyone, showing support, cheering, all of that. Like, even on the recipe videos and stuff, because I just wanted to shout this out. Like, I made this red garlic sub recipe. Y'all probably know it hit 4.6 thousand views. So that's just, it's just wild. I just keep going up from here, keep being consistently good, and keep it pushing. But last thing I'm gonna leave y'all off with, and obviously I'm gonna have a next race recap, so we're gonna tag on off of this on that video. But what is the goal going into the next meet? And obviously a new PR, but I think now that we're deeper into the season, I believe we only have 2 to 3 meets before district. So the main goal now is to get as close, not as close, as fast as possible. That's what I meant to say. Get the sub 18 as fast as possible. And I liked what my coach said, Coach Jordan. He's like, just get there. It doesn't even matter how you get there, just get there. So if you have to run a 6-minute split the first mile and then negative split the rest, so be it. It's just getting there at this point, just being consistently good, and just trusting the process, and just really just staying in it, because I think it's gonna happen eventually. Just win. So that's the main goal right now. Just slowly chipping away at sub 18 and just showing up, being consistently good, because I think the main thing that's gonna get me there is consistency. So just trusting the process, just waiting, and then it'll happen when it needs to happen. So goal for the next meet, I'll just say a PR, but just get as close to sub 8. Yeah, as close to sub 18 as possible. Words are hard. Get as close to sub 18 as possible. That's the main goal going into the next meet. But I would just say, for now, I'll probably think of a time the night before like I did last time, but I'm going to say a PR. That's the goal going into the next race. But that was all I had to say about the Spring Branch meet. It was a very good meet. I feel like I executed that race very well, and I would say that was my strongest race to date so far. So that was the meet recap, and I'm gonna see y'all next time.